Hey folks, here OSVTXReviews.com. You're watching our video first look at the Ucreate Games and Animation Station. This is a device that's originally targeted for kids as a interesting kind of toy they can play around with, but the concept behind it is really fascinating. Inside we have this interesting design that's really reminiscent of a document camera you might see in some schools, where you have a camera that kind of records and is able to kind of sense and see what's on a board in front of it, and then it can hook up to a computer, and the application and software will then recognize what's on the product and take it into a live kind of two-dimensional or three-dimensional game depending on what you're using it for. So the concept again kind of mashes between a document camera for schools and also something like a game station, which is kind of interesting. The retail price of this product is about $60, which is on the pricier side of the price spectrum, to be honest, for a toy. But the concept again is really just worth, I think, that something that of a higher price tag to take a closer look at. A little bit more about the product. The company states you can mash up creativity and game creation into the hands of kids. They can build and customize their own unique games by having this interactive pad that the camera can recognize, and then they can draw and interact with games in a way that we haven't really seen before. There's also customizable gaming experiences online. There's a USB cable. It's a dry erase experience, and it seems to be pretty interesting. So if we take a quick look at the contents of the packaging here. Inside, just taking a look at the design of the box first, we says that it has 4 fun game modes, which you can use to mash up different puzzles and pinball games and such, and there are more available online as well. So essentially, you have a traditional pinball game here, but you can control the control set just by using the power of a pen drawing on the document camera, so it's kind of interesting. And there's also some stuff like animations and photos, so you can animate 3D objects, and it kind of also tries to be a animator, again, an animation station, which is again very interesting. So it's a two-in-one concept that on paper is really unlike anything we've seen before. So we have to commend Mattel for something that's really so unique. Taking a look at some other stuff, it works with PC or Mac, so it is compatible with both systems. As far as the technology behind it, I think it's really just the software that's so unique, because a document camera, again, is just like a camera, so it's essentially a digitized version of something that would be like a gamepad, but anyway, it's pretty interesting to see. Bring your toys to life. So you can see it has something that it puts underneath the camera, it recognizes it, and then uses it like a clip art or something that onto an animated computer software. So it's pretty interesting. Make it great with Ucreate. Those are the contents, your markers, your installation guides, and the such. Inside the package, we have access to the installation manual, the actual use station creation product, and also a few pens that you can use with the dry erase board, and also a software warranty and installation guide, which we'll all take a look at in a moment. Seems like something dropped out of there, but take a look at what that was. It happens to be the Ucreate ad for some other products, actually, and in here we have the actual installation guide. It tells you Ucreate Games and Animation. It's printed in full color, and you can actually read it and tells you how to create your projects, use the software, play puzzles and games with the interesting camera here, and also, of course, to create your own mazes and also create your own animations. This is the interesting gamepad that is absolutely vital if you are planning on getting this, and because it actually allows you to register an account online for you to get the games and apps, there's also a QR code here, but it allows the camera to recognize these special icons and the such for you to customize it. So this is a special test page, so placing this underneath the camera, it has to recognize the different colors and seeing if the camera is properly aligned with the software, and it has to recognize these different shapes and the such. After you are kind of registered and set up, you have again all these different applications and games like pinball, mazes, animation stations, and the such that you can build and draw your way through to play on your computer. And getting a quick kind of idea of some of the things, you have pinball objects, so you can draw different pinballs and different mazes that you want to use in your game. So it seems to be a pretty cool experience overall. You have multiple pages of each game, because again, you really only can kind of draw once to use your game, but unless you want to save them and use it over and over again. So it's a limited amount of customization before you run out of the special paper. But again, you have about 2-3 pages of each game per se before you go on to the next game. Pinball, there's a puzzle, drawing your own character and animating it. and the such. It all has this QR code on the top for the camera to recognize with the software. So this is also free draw to bring your animated drawings to life, which is kind of interesting. So again, one downside to this I can immediately see is the fact that you have a limited amount of paper, and in order to reproduce this type of paper, you might have to purchase it directly from the manufacturer, which might get costly over time if you want to use this product over and over again. But again, the concept itself is just extremely cool. So taking a look at now actually the product itself, if we unravel the cables here, the cable can actually be stored along the hinge of the actual document camera, which is kind of interesting, and it plugs into a traditional USB 2.0 port on the other side. The camera itself can be tilted at different angles, and then the actual camera head can also be adjusted correspondingly, and it's a pretty nice solution. Again, very, very reminiscent of some document cameras we've seen before and reviewed for projectors and in schools. You can even see here there are a few LED lights for the device to be used in darker environments. Over here, this is the dry erase board, and if we release it here, oh, it seems like some of the caps have already fallen off, but these are the markers that come included in the packaging. However, you can also use your own dry erase markers if you don't like the ones that are pre-included. And these can be usually set up when you're in a desk or surface like this. It comes in a host of different colors from blue to red to yellow, so you have a lot of different options in terms of drawing and customizing your games and settings and so forth. And it works overall pretty well. Again, this is a dry erase board, so you can actually doodle with these markers on it and then erase them if you don't want to use any special paper. It still works with some applications in the software, but again, usually you would just use the special paper, perhaps tear a page out, and then put it underneath the document camera, and then it will automatically recognize that, and you can start using your application when hooked up to a PC. And then, of course, when you're done, you put your markers and pad into this compartment for storage and also for future usage and reference. A pretty interesting concept. We're definitely going to review this and post a full video review after we're finished on our website, so be sure to keep updated if you are interested. This has been our video first look of the Ucreate kind of 2D to 3D animation station / game station that kind of resembles a document camera. Thanks for watching here at OS and VTXreviews.com, and also our brother site at OS Tech News.